In today's video, we're going to purify some CSS. I bet you didn't even know that it was dirty. Well, maybe you did know that it was dirty. Hey there, Joomla fans. Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too. Thanks for tuning in to watch me work live stream. Number 109 here in the Basic Joomla Tutorials YouTube channel. This is my second try at the stream today. I got going and nobody was in chat or saying anything, and I realized I accidentally forgot to set the stream to published, so nobody was getting notifications or seeing it. So Bjorn is in chat, so I know things are working now. So if you are watching live, do say hi in chat, and also give the video a like. Give it a thumbs up, and that will help others to find it. Okay, so today we're going to check out a tool online that you can use to purify the CSS for your Joomla site. And what we're going to do as we're looking at this, hello Ivor, as we're checking that out, I'm still exploring and figuring out what to do. So it's going to be a very laid back look at this, so hang out, looking forward to your ideas and your suggestions as we check things out together. Hello, Chuck. All right, so let's change to the computer screen. All right, and I'm going to change my glasses, and here we go. So the site tool that I'm going to use is Purify CSS Online. I will paste that in chat, and I will put it in the video description down below after this is processed. And basically this is a tool, takes a look at the CSS on your websites, sees how much of it is being used and how much of it is unused, and that's information that we can use to try to do some things different. Ahmed is merhaba to you too, good to see you. All right, so yeah, so here's the site. Let me just post that again for anyone else. And so what we're going to do is go and just place our website URL. So I'm going to use basicjoomla.com, and I'm going to click Clean Up CSS. Okay. And we will get this, just checking out the messages here on the on my screen here, telling me about the video stream rate. Hopefully everything is okay. So here are all of the CSS files that basicjoomla.com, that homepage, is calling. This is what this file is like, the CSS files before, how big it is after if you were to use this code, and it shows that only 31% of the CSS inside of that file is being used, which makes 68.35% unused. All right, so and what we can do is we can start to click here, and we can see the we can show the clean CSS code. We can click this, which is just jammed together super nice. So this is a great tool for you to compress and simplify all of your CSS files. Hey Rudy, thanks for tuning in today. How's it? How's it is fine. How's it? Is it? It is fine. Yeah, so you could take your CSS and just jam it as small as possible. The browser does not care if it gets fed this. It's just going to follow all the rules. All the other lines and everything, that's just for our eyes to follow. Or we can click here and show the difference. Rudy, let me paste the link here. Whoops. There we go. This is the, oh my goodness, hold on for a sec here. Okay, here is the here's the page where we're at. All right, so red over here is basically CSS that is not being used on this page load, and down below here's the little bit that is being used. And also this tool really nicely reconfigures things. I don't know what this plus, so basically this is all the CSS that's used. It gets cleaned up. Now here's the thing about purifying or cleaning your CSS or trimming it down. Yes, of course, there are things in the CSS file that are not being used, but they're just not being used on this particular page. So we wouldn't want to go and start cutting up CSS files somewhere, and because there may be CSS on, there may be styles and other things in that file that are used by other pages. This is just the home page. But it does start to give us a little bit of insight into what's going on in our sites, and maybe things that we could get rid of, especially maybe there's even extensions that aren't used anymore. Something very interesting here, for instance, here is components com profiler templates default template. 56 kilobytes, 0 bytes used after 0 unused is 100%. So this CSS file is not being called at all. Now, I think it would be great in order to just not call it then in the head of the website. But it would get used, this template would get used if somebody were logged in and adjusting their profile with their profile. Yes. Now, Bjorn says in chat, the problem is that much of the CSS belong to things like JCE. Yeah. And so if you have ideas of how to get some things to not load on the front end of your site or that aren't necessary, I have an idea. But anyways, we will maybe try that in a little while. So yeah, so we don't want to just go and start burning through all these things and raising them and not using them. So all right. For instance, here's your Google fonts here. Only 10% is being used. Let's show the difference on that. All right, so we probably have a bunch of fonts that are not being used in here. What have we got here? Fonts, the Open Sans. Yeah, it's all Open Sans. Different styles. Looks like some lines are getting, oh, there's some little spaces in here that are moved that are shortened. You know, so again, this is all going to take a little while to figure out. Now, let's see here. Let's go into the back end of the basic Joomla site here. And let's try something that I think I would like to give a try. So let's go to CyberSalt. That's my login for here. I'm going to go to Components, and I'm going to go to Regular Labs ReReplacer. All right. And I'm also going to go to the home page, and I'm going to view the page source. And up here, we're going to see where some of the CSS is called. Oh, I've got some inline stuff there. Basic Joomla. Let's see. Astra template 1. Graphics. Oh, I wonder if I have this all compressed using JCH. Let's just check that out. Extensions and plugins. It might be getting pushed all into one. Let's go JCH. JCH. No. Okay, plugins. This. Okay, here's this. Oh, here's the COM Profiler ones. So let's say I do not need COM Profiler at all on this on the page load here. I think that I should be able to somehow remove that. The problem is going to be the version here. See, I think what we could set up is that in ReReplacer, where on certain pages that it looks, and if it sees CSS being called that is not used, sorry, you can just remove it from the head. Now, how would we do that? Let's just try this here. All right. Let's go to ReReplacer. Let's make a new one. Oh, actually, I already have one that's. I see. I was playing around with this a while ago, some time ago. So here's which one did I select here? Templates Bootstrap. All right. So let's remove Community Builder Bootstrap from the head. So here it is looking for. Oh, and it's also looking for a link to my CDN as well. Okay, let's just see the view source. Okay, I don't have the CDN right now. So let's look for this. The only thing is I do not want to look for this version here. So it would be great, just for now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look for COM Profiler, Components COM Profiler templates. And I'm just going to take that last bit out. Let's just do some experimenting here. And I'm going to replace that with just a close. Just the opening bracket. And here's what I want to do. I want to search the area. I want to search in the head. And I think that's all I need to do. And we can search all pages for now. Let's just do the home page. Home page, just the home page, and replace it with that. Let's save that. And now let's refresh. I know this is going to break something. Let's view the page source. And we will see that we do not have those three style sheets being added anymore. Notice right here, default bootstrap.css, it's calling some things, but that is never going to work. That is never ever going to work. Now let's go back here. So we're breaking something in the site there, of course, and I bet you if we go F12 we'll see some errors somewhere. Nope. Not showing up there in elements. Oh, we don't have any errors showing up here. All right, so let's go back to our purify CSS and we will clean up the CSS. We'll run that again. Just waiting for it to load. And now, look, there's way less codes being called here, which is pretty cool. So again, here we could do the same thing for system JCE CSS if we don't want this JCE editor CSS running on the front end unless people are logged in. Now what we can do is get really fancy here, because with ReReplacer, you know, maybe we don't want this COM Profiler plugin template thing to show anywhere, but only on certain pages. We can then go into publishing assignments and say, hey, only replace this on certain pages. We could even say only replace this when a certain user group is not logged in. If they are logged in, then we do want them to. So for instance, if someone logs into the site, then we definitely want them to be able to use their community profiler, community builder profile or user profile template properly. But anyway, so we're shortening code there. So now here's the challenge, and this is where I'm going to run into a roadblock, is what we really want to do is say, is to look for a line that has the code in it, even though this version will change, and just remove it so that there is nothing there. I mean, we have actually broken something here. But that said, here's a quick workaround for me before I figure that out. Why don't I do this? All right, so here we go. And again, you know, this is, watch me work live stream. We're just going to figure this as we go along the way here. Yeah, Bjorn, it is kind of a neat way. I've been thinking about it and how to pull it off, even without the RegEx right now. So here's basically what we need. Sorry, control. Let's go control. Okay, I'm going to paste this. Okay, so what we need, and maybe I can make this just a little bit bigger for now. What we need is a RegEx that looks for anything that has Bootstrap has this code, but then and ends in this and ignores this version thing, because this can change, right? This versioning. So what we can, so that's what we just don't know what to do. But in the meantime, here's something that I can do. I can search for link href blah, 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 bootstrap CSS. Okay, I can search for that. And I can replace it with basicjoomla.com. And I'm just going to do this. Watch. I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to replace it with a file called purify CSS. .css. And then the rest of the ending will be there after that will remove. Now I'm going to save this. In order to call that and it not to be a mistake, let's just go very quickly. I'm just going to log. I'm not logged into my control panel, so let me just do that on the other screen here. All right, and we'll go to, I'm just going to go to my list of accounts here. We'll go to basic Joomla, and oh, you know why I know, hey, things might be a bit slow here today because I'm still using my CDN. I was doing a different location last night for a video that I was recording. All right, here we are, cPanel. So this IP that I'm on right now is actually not mine. It is, I'm streaming out over CDN. I wonder if I change that, will I break the stream? I don't know. I better not do that just in case. Hopefully the video quality is all right. If it's bad, we can try that. Let me know. Oh, I should use an asset folder. All right. Let's see. Let's go to File Manager. Which asset folder should I use? What do you suggest I use? Bjorn. Okay, Bjorn says the stream is okay. What asset folder should I use? Let's go to public HTML here. And while I'm waiting for you to make a suggestion there, I'm going to call this purify CSS.css. That's kind of redundant. Let's go purify.css. All right. We'll go back to here. Create assets for CSS. Okay, why not? So let's go folder, assets. All right, and we'll create a new folder. And let's create another folder here because Bjorn says to. He is the man. All right, here we go. And now I'm going to create a new file. Well, first of all, I'm going to create a file which is index.html. And I'm going to edit that. I'm just going to say hi. That will keep people prying eyes from doing things in there. And now we will close, and now I'll make a new file, and we'll go purify.css. Okay, create new file, and yeah, we'll just leave it like that. We'll go up one level, and there's a new folder that I made. Let's do that same thing, index.html. And then we'll go and edit that, and I'm going to put hi in there, and that keeps people from having it empty there. Yes, and I did create that in the root. Bjorn. So we've got that here. This is the public HTML. This is the root install assets. Great. And we've got assets CSS. And we've got purify that. All right. So now we go back to replacer. Now we're going to go assets / CSS / and now we're going to go save. I'm going to change the screen back to the normal size here. And if I have other CSS files, you can point it to this folder in Sorcerer. Okay. All right. So next, that means, so we've saved this. We can go back to home and we can refresh. I did get 2 mistakes there. Let's just see here. Oh, let's just try this. Refresh. Got 2 alerts here. What are the alerts? Be alert. The world needs more alerts. 2 warnings. Error with permission policy. Invalid allow list item. Basic Joomla.com. Oh, this is something to do with my permissions policy header. All right. Well, I'll take a look at that another time. So we'll refresh this page. We're going to write and review the page source. And now we have replaced, yeah, look at this right here. Make it a bit bigger. HTTPS basicjoomla.com asset CSS purify.css, and it replaced it. Okay, cool. Now we've got Community Profiler, or Community Builder also loads its own font awesome thing, and it also loads its own template CSS here. Now, plugin templates default. Let's just check the default here. Plugin templates default. Oh, so look, Bootstrap. If I want to remove all 3 of these, I could do this. I could just go as far as default and not have the file name. Now, would there be a case where I want, in the case of Community Builder, where I just want one of these? No, because if Community Builder is being used, I want it to have all 3. So I'm going to go back here and I will tweak this, and we'll take out Bootstrap. We'll save that. All right, that's not kept behind on our tabs here. And we will refresh. And we'll go view and page source. And now, oh yeah, we got purify.css, although, oh, it still has the file names. Yes, sirree. All right, so, so we're having some success here in that the replacement is working here. But to do this really elegantly, I need that regex. And basically what the regex would be look for anywhere that you, oh, let's just reset this to the proper size. Look for anywhere that you have, look for anywhere that has link, blah, 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 and replace it with anything up to default, and then replace it with, replace the whole line. Okay, so, I wonder if I can figure this out from other CSS that I've got. So other regexes that I've used on other sites. I'm not sure. All right. So in the meantime, let's just do this. Let's see here. Where am I? Too many tabs. I don't need File Manager open. Let's go plugins. Don't need that. If you, yeah, that of course is going to change if you're using JCH Optimize Pro, although you could actually exclude some things as well. Let's not get too complicated, which might be too late. Oh, I know what I'm looking for. Okay. Bootstrap.css is the file that we're looking for here. All right. Bootstrap. bootstrap.css. Okay. And so now when we refresh this, view page source, we just have purify.css. So what we could do is actually duplicate these other ones for our testing. Now, of course, the same thing we can do then with the JCE if we don't want this running here. So let's do this. Let's replace this, copy. And now we will go save, let's save, remove JCE. Remove JCE CSS from head. All right. Save as copy. And now we are just going to Control A, Control V. This one here. Let's remove this link here. We don't need to load that. We're going to publish this. And boy, here we don't even need the basic Joomla.com, do we? We actually could change this just to go to the root here. So why make another call that way? So we could go assets. Yeah. Shorten it even more. All right, so we'll save. We'll refresh. We'll view page source. And now there's assets there. That's the JCE one there. Cool. Now let's go back to purify this. How many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's clean this up. And now we're going to have, I'm going to guess 7 since we just took one away. Oh, we got a lot more. Hold on. We've got one. Oh, yeah, because they're still listing the CSSs that we have here. Here's the one that is, I think that we changed. That's purify CSS. Oh, and here's another one. So it's showing 0 bytes, 0. So it is still showing that as a file, but we could actually make that not even call if we figure out the regex. All right, and I know Ivor's working very hard on that right now. Aren't you, Ivor? Or somebody. Okay, so now I'm using the pro version of ReReplacer, so I'm not sure what difference this would make, but if you can do this in the free one. But what we want to do is we don't want to replace the JCE CSS if somebody is logged in, right? So we're going to go to publishing assignments, and we're going to say ignore on the home page. In fact, we can just say ignore on all pages for that one. But we're going to go down and only for user groups. And that will be only for user groups who are public. All right. And everyone else who's logged in needs the JCE CSS because that is going to affect their using JCE editor, I think. Yeah, Bjorn, I think it is going to make a good impact on speed. So let's save and close this. And that's likewise what we would do is we would do the Community Builder Bootstrap. If someone's logged in, we want them to be able to see it. But where are they going to log in? Let's see that. Let's go here. Let's go / login. Is that a thing on my site? Yeah, it is. Now, here is CB login. Now, if we go and view page source here, we're going to see there's the community profiler because that is because I'm not logged in. I'm not logged in here. No, because we haven't done that restriction here. Let's go back here. Bootstrap from CSS, publishing assignments. Let's forget it. Let's ignore it. Do this on all pages, but make sure that the user is, ignore, the user group is only for guest. All right, so with this, if this is working, if we're doing this right, let's just click on this and open a new tab, go home, view page source, and then we get, yeah, plugins system JCE. Oh, the content is showing there. And but the community profiler one is not, but the JCE one is. Let's just go back and see. So that's guest, include guests. Okay, let's do this. Let's go back to the JCE one. Oh, I can put the CSS in the purify CSS file. Oh, yes. Yeah, you could put all of that just combined into one in there. Include public. What did I? All right. What am I missing here? User group. I want to do this replacement for the user group public. All right. But here, I also have that. Oh, I have guest. Oh, interesting. I thought public would be guest. Oh, okay, well, let's do public and guest then. We'll go JCE from there. Okay, so save and close. All right, so now if we go home and refresh, I'll close a few tabs here. View page source. All right, so now we have purify CSS there as well, and this one up here is the JCE one. Okay, but if we go back here and I log in to the front end, invalid captcha code. Okay, something might not be working on my site. I don't usually log into the front end here, so let's try this one more time. Cybersalt. Okay, that time it worked. Oh, I probably waited too long to log in before. Great. So now that means, let's just clean the cache. Now if I go back here and refresh, because I'm logged in, and view page source, there's the Community Profiler plugin. All right, so I'm getting that. And there's also the JCE in, so that works well. So basically, just in review, what I did was I set these replacements to only take place if someone's not logged into the site. Now now cleaning up the CSS here is not going to make a difference because this test is not logged in. All right. Now let's go back to our login though, and I don't really have a way to see. Oh, here, view user profile. So here is my user profile, and basically in here, this is using the CSS by Community Builder, this template. View page source. Let's just find. Oh, hold on. That's sorry. Let's go F12. F12 or inspect, and we'll just drag this down here. And yes, so let me just hide my camera here. Let's make me disappear. Whoops, wrong one. So yeah, down here, Control plus, or let's see, Control. Yeah, I can't make that smaller. But down here, we can see here that there's the CSS for this avatar is actually being pulled from this Community Profiler plugin. Now, the interesting thing is, here's something that we can we need to decide, because is there anywhere else on this anywhere else on my site where Community Profiler is displayed, the CSS from Community Profiler or Community Builder is displayed? Because if my avatar is being shown somewhere and it is using that CSS, I want it to show up on the page. But if it's if this is the only place when I'm my user profile or I'm logged in, I can exclude it by URL as well. I could copy up here. I could go back to the ReReplacer list. Let's go into the ReReplacer. And then what I would do is publishing assignments. I would say only exclude it on all pages unless someone is logged in. But I could go down to URL. And let's see, what do I want to do? This is saying do the replacement, but not on the view user profile. Okay, and also, I guess up here I could say this. Yes, I would leave this because, so, if someone is logged in and they're not, let's see how this works. If someone is logged in and they're not on the profile page, just a sec here. Now this is where I get muddled in my head. Find this, replace it with this if people are visiting as guests. Okay. If they're visiting guests. Okay, so we want that for every page. If they're on this view user profile page, they're not guests. So let's see if they're not on that page. So this is turns out. So if I would have to create another rule then that if okay, yeah, that's what you'd have to do. I would duplicate this rule and say, okay, if they are on I would say ignore this, but I would say if they are on this URL, if they're on there, do you replace it? No, don't replace it. That's what you do. Anyone that's on that URL, don't replace it. Okay, so you'd have a match of URLs that were just the ones that match. That's a little bit. You would have a match. You would match the URLs where you didn't want the replacement to take place. That's really drilling down a lot. Okay, so let's just close that and not save that. Let's view our source here. What else have we got here? So I'm logged in. If we can go here and go to here. Must be a log out somewhere here. So you also have these other URLs here. Oh, manage your connections. So in that case, you would exclude in ReReplacer based on the component. You would okay. Oh, okay. So hey, this looks. So if you see this, replace it with this. If the person is either logged in as a guest or it's a component that is not Community Builder. Now we're doing any. So if someone was a guest, it would replace it. Or if someone were logged in and they're viewing a page that wasn't Community Builder, it would replace it. Ah, that's a nice drill down there. That means if I go back here, we've already seen that the source view's here. So let's just view user profile, view page source. So there's the community profiler showing. Good. But if I go home, even though I'm still logged in, and view the page source, that one gets taken out. Of course, these other two community profiler ones are in there. Very, very cool. Okay, so now we've got it set so that is being stripped even if someone's logged in. Cool. In fact, in which case, in this case, we don't even need to specify. Oh my goodness, of course. We don't even need to specify a user group. We just need to specify Community Builder because anyone that's viewing a Community Builder page needs that CSS, of course. The only issue being if there's something like avatar or username or a module for Community Builder on another page, then you need that CSS. So you might still want to keep the user group thing down. You just have to know your site where everything is. So my site, I don't have avatars showing up anywhere. They're not using a forum. They're not being pulled from somewhere. So I could just get away with this particular one as well. Okay. And of course, you can look at your site, and if things are broken, you're going to know that you broke it. Yeah, ReReplacer is really powerful. Now, usually when I do stuff with Regular Labs, if Peter van Westin, who's the owner and programmer of Regular Labs, he sees what I've done, he says, why didn't you just do it this way? For instance, with the RegEx. Yes, but it's a component. Yes, Community Builder is a is that what you're talking about, Bjorn? All right. Okay, so let's go back and view our source here. We're logged in. Oh, so plugins system JCE. Where are we at here? All right, so right now we are logged in. View the page source. JCE, okay. Yeah, so JCE is being loaded, but only for people that are logged in. Bjorn says yes. What was it that I asked? Yeah, community. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got lost in my thoughts there. Community Builder is a component. I just wonder if. Oh yeah, so a component's only going to call for the CSS is what you're saying when the component's being loaded. And the avatar would be probably used by another component pulling it in. If that's what you're saying, you're right. Do we have any other CSS that we can remove from the head here? We could remove this community profiler, media, front editing. I think that only shows up because we're logged in probably. Let's just see that. Let's go back to login. Hello, GIN. Obviously don't have the links here. We're going to log out. Close these tabs here. We'll just clean the cache. Home. Replace. And view page source. Yeah, I think so, Bjorn. The probably show where the component shows. Yeah. Unless there's a module that is set up to call, like if the login module is set up to call CSS from a CSS file that's attached to the component. I guess that's just the tricky thing. So the component would only call it when it's running, but I wonder if Community Builder login as a module is somehow pulling CSS from a template file, for instance. Could be wrong. But then again, that's a case too where you could still, if you find that, instead of loading the whole CSS file, you just could create your own little CSS file that you could an override and for that module or that login, and just make it draw from somewhere else. So we've got here for assets, we have just this purify CSS, yeah, that one. This is the media mod social slider. That's the social slider that we have there. So good, we want that. These two we can remove with the RegEx, which I'm going to tackle next. This asteroid header section, this is an experiment that I did. I experimented with putting my custom CSS for the template in Sorcerer and adding it to the head instead of having it called to a custom file. And you know what? There's absolutely no speed difference when I was playing around with that. Here's a script for Joomla script options new. Here's media, queries, bootstrap, and that's the end of the head. So I think this is everything. I think we need these media files here. All right. And this versioning is nice because the question mark at the end, I think that helps with cache management. Anyways, we made a few things smaller here. And then, of course, here's the CSS for asteroid. There's two different files there. I'm not sure which difference those are. A Google Tag Manager. Yeah. And then that's the end of the head. So we made some things short. It messes up your source code. What messes up the source code, Bjorn? Okay, so let's go back to Purify CSS. Let's go to refresh this. All right, let's do a speed test too. Let's try something here. All right, so there's our CSS. Loads pretty fast. It's not that big. Let's go to gtmetrics, gtmetrics.com, and let's go basicjoomla.com. We'll run a test on that. I'm going to open up a new tab here. Once this, having CSS, it messes up your source code. Having CSS in the asteroid CSS. And not in a file. Yeah, it does mess it up in the back there. All right, so our speed here is 83 and 96. I'm going to go back to ReReplacer and close this. And I'm going to uncheck this one, unpublish it, and unpublish that. And I'm going to go to basic Joomla. GTmetrics again here. Basic Joomla.com, and we'll analyze. Now, what do we got here for size of things here? Reduce initial server response time, remove unused CSS, potential savings of 58 kilobytes. Okay. Avoid large layout shifts, potential saving, block resources. Let's go back here. Still analyzing. Just want to see where we have. It talks about the size. Total page size. We've got 649 kilobytes, and CSS was 77.6. 23% of page requests are CSS. Okay. Uh-oh. Let's try this again. Oh, what did I do before? Did it do? Oh, it did HTTP. Oh boy. HTTP basic Joomla. So let's try this again. Let's close a few tabs over here. Fetching the site. Waiting. Is the site broken? Let's just try this. Oh, it's loading. I wonder if this is because I'm using my the CDN, not CDN, the VPN. Let's try this then. Google page speed. Google page speed. All right. So this first one here will do HTTP. Okay, basicjoomla.com. Let's just look at the desktop. And let's see our sizes. Does it show a size? Oh, remove unused CSS. All right, that's what we've got there. And that's Asteroid, that's Bootstrap, and Font Awesome. Okay, that's all it sees there, huh? I do use HTTPS, but it's interesting because if I just go and type in basicjoomla.com, it goes to HTTPS. But in GTmetrix, unless you type in HTTPS, I just typed in the www.basicjoomla.com, but I guess I have to specify HTTPS. All right, let's try that. I think it's the VPN that's going to mess me up. At the end of the stream, I'll switch and we'll see if that makes a difference. I just don't want to disconnect because something has changed and then have this all messed up. Okay, oh, it loaded that time. All right, so this tab here on the left now will be without the ReReplacer thing running. All right. And now we will go here to ReReplacer and we will turn on remove that, and we'll turn on remove that. Okay. Cache is cleaned, and now we will retest here. You just imagine that this will make quite a speed difference if you have a site that has a lot of these scripts that are being loaded. Oh, it's doing that. Sorry, it's doing that same thing again. Let's do GTmetrix. Let's go HTTP. Okay, there we go. Now we'll give that a try. Sorry about that. Here comes the report. All right, so we've got 88 and we've got 91. We've got, well, that's layout shift. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. But let's see here. So we go down. Our CSS size without ReReplacer, taking those out, is 104 kilobytes. 23% of the page speeds there. And here, our CSS is 77, and it's only 23% of the page requests. Here it was, oh, still 23 because we're still requesting that empty file. But we actually have removed 30 kilobytes of CSS download. So a little bit of a change there. Oh, thanks, Bjorn. I just saw that you posted a link to the speed thing. So just a little bit of savings there. Now let's do the deep dive. This is where I end up in the ditch. Let's remove Community Builder, all of it. And so we need a RegEx for that. Where do I have a RegEx? Search everything. If you see, what do I have? Count. All right, let's see here. I'm going to go on to my CyberSalt site here. Because I have a ReReplacer, components, ReReplacer. This signature, this puts this signature at the end. That's not what I want. Okay, let's just see. This RegEx says, oh, look for everything, put this at the end. That's not the one that I want. I want something that counts adds down. I think this one here. Okay, yes. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This counts, this looks for 8 paragraph marks. All right. This looks for 8 paragraph marks. Anything that has a paragraph. All right. Anything that it counts 8 paragraphs, and if there's still 4 paragraphs at the end, replace what is the first 8 paragraphs. That's that one. Put in this code, and then put the rest. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah. Ivor's sending me to a RegEx thing. Yeah, a quick cheat sheet. All right, so let's see here. We want to find anything matches any string that has the text roar in it. Anchors, the anchors, basic topics, roar matching. Okay. Matches any strings with the, anything that has the. Yep. Anything that matches starts with let's try it here. The end. Okay, so this is going to be the trick here. we're going to open, oops, sorry. Open this in a new tab. Okay, so what are we replacing? We are looking for and I'm going to go Control V, and we're looking for this code here. All right, so we're looking for basic Joomla.com components, com prompt filer, da 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 da. Okay, so anything that starts with up here, we can go anything that starts with an L. No. Anything that starts with the end there. Selected that, but here, anything that starts with style, well, REL. We will do. No, that's not there. Probably have to do with this. If I take this out and I put an L, look at that. Huh. Yep. Well. I don't know. I think this is something I'm going to have to figure out, and then we will revisit. Because I'm not a great regexer. I've got these examples here, though. If this is anything, anything that has a /p in it. So let's do this, copy. Let's go back to this ReReplacer. Okay. So basically, I'm going to look for home. Anything. All right, so this right now, anything that has a P in it. So and we don't want to count 8. All right, so anything that has this text in it, defaults, templates, yeah, Control copy. All right, take out the paragraph mark, Control V. Anything that has that link, anything that has this link in it, replace with this. I think I'm gonna break the site right now, but let's just try this here. Let's refresh. Okay, so it didn't match. Okay, that's all right. Anything. It could be this code is something to. Oh, we got to put regular expressions there too. Okay. Turn that on. Oh boy, I changed something, didn't I? Changed a ton of stuff out of the top up here, which is not necessarily what I want to do. Let's just try this again. Let's unpublish that. Oh yeah, I wiped out a bunch of stuff. So stuff's happening. I think when it finds this, you have to put /1 in. So whatever it finds, everything before that, I don't know. Let's try that. Let's see what this does. It's maybe not going to do anything. On separate lines, yes, because in my example here, what happens is that it counts 8 paragraphs. It looks for 8 paragraphs. If it sees those, that creates a block, which is represented by 1. And then where this is true, it finds everything else at the end of the page becomes 2. So this matches, becomes 1. This match becomes 2. And so then it replaces it with 1, and then the code that I want, and then 2. So 2 is not defined there, but I am looking for an ending. So I'm looking for anything that contains this in it, plus Control V, ending, anything that ends with what? Now it's interesting that this is not red. Check this out. If I put a quote there, this changes color back to the coding. So I wonder if I need to treat this as a use slash and not. Okay, yeah, good point. Good catch. Use the shovel. We're gonna break stuff. Let's just take this last little bit and Control X, save, and we'll refresh. No, okay. See, in my example back here, look for if I put a quote here, no. If I put a quote there, no, it doesn't affect the coloring. Link. I need a brackets for the outside of these. And the anything that is the ending, which will be relative style sheet. Relative style sheet is going to go there. Oh, I need probably need a wildcard there. Maybe not. Let's try this. No. No, I think I'm gonna have to do some research on this one. Anything that has this in it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask for. I'm gonna have to get someone to help me with that. It's unpublished. Oh my goodness. Whoops. Thanks, Jack. Okay, so let's try this. Oh, look at that. Well, we got a space in there now. Cool. So it's finding that. Okay. Let me just take out this thing here. Control X. And this first one here. Save. Okay, so Control V. So put this. All right. Well, that was certainly helpful to have it on. Womp womp. So it's finding this. It's finding a line. This is a new line. All right, if we do that, view the source. Interesting that you can view the source again without refreshing the page. That's cool. Yeah. All right, so look, it's adding a new line, but it's also adding this line back. And it's this I just want to remove that whole line. So it sees this. It's only doing it once. Thorough. Okay. Oh, of course, this is okay, so I'm not sure. Check. Now you got /1, /2. Are spaces. Oh, are they showing up as spaces in here? No. We're getting a space at the end. Now this is doing what it's supposed to. Obviously, it's counting that and replace what's before it and what's after it. I want to remove RegEx remove. That's RegEx remove a string in the replace box. Yeah, no, I don't have any spaces here. All I have is that. What is the regular expression? Remove the string ABC. All right, so let's see. ABC/W/S. The problem is string.replace. Let's give that a try. String.replace with capital letters. String.replace. In replace box. String.replace. Let's try that. Well, there's no line there now, obviously, because that's not a thing. What have we got back here? String play. Maybe I need more brackets. No. Oh, I meant to put this bracket here. No. I think we're close. Obviously, we're close because this new line is getting added. Let's see here. Remove string. String face quotes. Okay. All right, well, let's just see. Regular labs, RegEx, Euros like. Oh, here's how to replace these URLs with nothing. Huh. Yes, Ivor, I saw that message that, you know, you left that comment the other day about that page, and I looked, I could click on it, but I couldn't reply to it on my channel. It didn't show anywhere. But yeah, that is a cool thing. Oh, click on device signature, show details, then try Brave browser if you have it with private window too. Okay. That will be something that we can play around with. In the meantime, oh, I want to remove all Google calls from my site from all Joomla template extension. How to do it, please? In this case, you could try something like this using regular expressions. Comma URL, fonts, gstatic, All right, let's try this. Let's put this down here. So this is comma URL, any URL. So we take that out. URL, anything that has community Control V, any URL, any URL that has community templates in it, just remove. We'll try this. If not, then I will give up. Okay, so let's try this. No. All right, well, I'm going to ask, what I'll do is I will post the solution to this in the video link below, if RegEx is allowed. Otherwise, I'll have to get some way. But of course, I'll share it in the Slack channel. But yeah, it's probably enough time to spend on that because I can just ask for some help. Let's just see one other thing here. With I asked Chayton if he knows here. We'll see what he says. He might not actually even be there. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if he calls. All right, so the premise is there is just how to do this quickly. I mean, so for basically, I could do this. Let's go back to this very old here, link templates, community profile. And we could replace with, oh, what was it that we had down there? I better go here, components, ReReplacer. ReReplacer. JC. This is what we replaced down here. Okay, so copy. So watch. Here's what we do. First of all right, we set this back. Anything looking for plugin templates and default and bootstrap. Templates, default, bootstrap. We save that. We go up here, we refresh, and that disappears. All right, so the next one is font awesome and template. So we go here, Control A, Control Copy, Control A, Control Copy, save and close. So this is font awesome. Go Control A, sorry, Control V, and we go font awesome. Did I do that right before? Oh, it's got to be .css. .css. And we go Control and V. Replace it with that. Control copy. Save and close. And now we're going to go template. Control A, Control V. Template CSS, and we're going to go Control V and purify that. Save and close. Save and close. The last thing I need to do, bootstrap. I need to put .css here. All right, so this is the man handling way. It's going to work. Now when we replace, we will go replace. And now we have cut out 4 calls to style sheets just by going to our assets. Now they've got those little question marks in there. But now we can go back to GT metrics here. And let's just do one other GT metrics. GT metrics, GT. And we will go to HTTP analyze. I'm going to have to make once I get that regex, what I'll do is I'll make a shorter tutorial on how to do this and refer back to the longer discussion here. That's what I'll do. Yeah. There we go. It's going to load. So, CSS here, 104 kilobytes. CSS here, 77 kilobytes. CSS here, 63 kilobytes. Yeah, not too much, but let's go to purify CSS. We'll clean up the CSS here. And on that site again, we have these 1, 2, yes. Now, they haven't really been big files anyways that we've saved here. But if we go here to, let's go to cybersalt.org. And we'll check out everything that's there. We've got some stuff here, like for instance, source coast. I could probably remove that. I don't think I'm using it on my site anyways. I think it shows the Facebook pages, Facebook comments. But here's, what's a big one down here? Oh, there's source coast. So I could actually get rid of some things in here. Got some, So let me see other things that are in here. Yeah, I've got the JCE probably showing up here. Yeah, yeah. See, and it's only 5.9 kilobytes, but it's one less call, especially if we can regex and remove just so it doesn't even get a call in there. That's gonna be the sweet deal. Yeah, and you're gonna type that out, Bjorn. That's great. Do an instruction for the peoples who like to read. Yeah. Alrighty, well, I think we'll call that a wrap. Sort of successful, fun thing to check out. And it's going to give a little bit more control over the code that's running in the CSS. Over what CSS is getting called if there's something that's absolutely unnecessary for it to be called. So, yeah. Thanks, Bjorn. Yeah, it was great. It was fun that it worked out. Yes, and Chuck, thanks for well, we got to give us we have to give an award to people on live streams who point out something. The Bonehead Award, but not the Help a Bonehead Award. That's what we need to have. So Chuck would definitely win that one today for helping it out. And although Bjorn did point out that I did have the slashes wrong, and my camera's a little bit dark today. I lightened it up last night for a Zoom call, but anyways. All right, so I'm going to end the stream, and then I'm also going to turn off my CDN to see if that makes a difference for when the source. Yes, all understandable except the regex. Yes, something I need to be really good to be better at it, but of course never be as good as Peter van Westin on it. So all right, everybody, thanks for tuning in, thanks for spending this time, thanks for helping me out, and I'm glad that we've got a profitable little tweak or hack or whatever that we can do here to help things to load faster. Anyways, so you guys all and gals all take care of yourself. And until the next time, enjoy your Joomla sites and God bless.